Justin, how do I build more self-confidence? Besides getting asked, how do I find my purpose? This is probably the second most common question I get asked. And I just want to say that I'm either the most highly underqualified or highly overqualified person to speak to this question because it's something that's been a real big part of my life. I was a kid that grew up, and even though I excelled in really most of the areas of my life, not bragging, but I excelled in the classroom, in sports, in relationships, and being able to build and maintain great relationships. But I had no confidence. I had just about zero confidence growing up. And it's been going through this journey and developing confidence, understanding what confidence is, that I think really equips me to be able to speak to this topic, but also really, really gets me fired up. And another reason why I'm so excited to talk about this is because I think that when it comes to success and being able to create a successful life, whatever that definition is for you, confidence is foundational to that. You are not, listen to me when I say this, you are not going to build a successful life for yourself without self-confidence, without that internal belief. It's just absolutely key. Now, before we dive into 5 ways that you can increase your self-confidence, I want to talk about what self-confidence actually is, because I think there's a huge misconception about what it actually is. I think a lot of people think that confidence is something you're born with. Like, some people just have it and other people don't. And that could not be further from the truth. It's actually something that I thought for a long time. I thought, I'm just an insecure kid. I'm not meant to be confident, or I'm not the greatest looking, or I'm not the smartest, or I'm not the most talented, and so I'm not meant to be the most confident. But that's not confidence at all. All confidence is your belief in your ability to be able to create a result in your life. And anybody can do that. Confidence is a skill. Confidence is something that can be gained. It can be mastered. You just have to understand what you're doing and how you can actually do that. So let's dive in. The first thing that you can do to build self-confidence is actually something you need to stop doing, which is externalizing your confidence. All right. What so many people do in their life is that their confidence, or at least they think, comes from sources outside of them. And it really manifests itself in 2 ways. People either tie their confidence to achievement, or they tie their confidence to how other people feel about them. So let's talk about the first one, achievement. So many people think that, they went through and they accomplished some big goal, and because of that, they became more confident. If you were somebody who had some big physical transformation, or you had some sort of big financial turnaround in your life, or you went to school, you gained this knowledge, and you got this great job, whatever it might be, you may have this misconception that achieving that end result is what made you confident. But that's not true. I told you earlier, confidence is a skill. Well, skills are developed through routine and continuous action. So it was the action, the process, the growth that came as a result of that allowed you to build the confidence. Now, what you do with that is that you have to then understand that it was that process that made you be confident, and then you take that belief in yourself to show up, create a result, and you just transfer that over to other areas of your life. So stop believing that it was the trophy, or it was the raise, or it was the new job, or it was X, Y, or Z flashy thing that allowed you to build confidence, because it wasn't. It was the process that you went through. It was the showing up day after day after day, putting in the work, putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, investing the time, the money, the effort, whatever it was for you. It was going through that process, building momentum, and reaching the end result that allowed you to really build that confidence. So stop attaching your confidence to achievement and understand that the confidence comes through the process. The second thing that you need to stop attaching your confidence to is how other people feel about you. I'm going to tell you this right now. There's over 7.5 billion people in this world. It's okay if a few people don't like you, all right? You're not going to be on all the time, and people just aren't going to like you. We're judgmental creatures by nature. Part of it is a self-defense mechanism that's been around since the existence of human beings. But part of it is just that's how we're wired. We're judgmental people. We see people, we make a snap decision. Why do you think they talk about first impressions? That's a form of judging somebody. And so it's okay if people don't like you. If you tie your source of confidence to how other people view you or feel about you, you're never going to really be solid in your belief that you can create a result, because the results then are going to be dependent upon people's acceptance of your goals, of your pursuit of that goal. You got to stop doing that. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure over and over and over again. And one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got, which is an absolute truth, and if you've never heard this, you need to hear it. You are not that important. Okay? And I don't say that to be mean, because the person that said that to me said it with love. And it was one of the most liberating things ever, because you're not. A lot of times, whenever people are in pursuit of goals, or they're in a certain social setting, or they're doing something, all they can think about is how other people are judging them, or how they're scrutinizing or analyzing them. You got to realize this. Life is hard enough as it is, and everybody else is trying to navigate their own lives. And so while you're sitting there worried about what everybody else might or might not be thinking about you, I can promise you, the vast majority of them, they're not thinking anything about you. They're thinking about their own lives and how they can deal with all the crap that's going on around them. So take that to heart. Start to understand that you're not as important as you're making yourself seem. The fact that you think other people are judging you kind of comes from a place of ego and arrogance. That's not what's going on. And even the ones that are judging you, those aren't the people that you want to be accepted by anyway. Those aren't the people you want to associate yourself with anyway, and they're probably going to forget about you 5-10 seconds after they're out of your presence anyway. So stop tying your sense of confidence to how other people feel about you or what they think about you. The third thing that you can do to start building your self-confidence is to start stacking up small wins. So in my previous career, profession, whatever you want to call it, I was a personal trainer. And one of the problems that so many of my clients had early on, especially for a young coach who didn't really know how to guide them and navigate them to success, was that they came in with these huge, audacious goals, which was great in theory. The problem is most of them had never even come close to tackling anything that even resembled what they wanted to go after. And so whenever they weren't immediately getting the results, or they weren't making the level of progress that they thought they wanted to be making or should be making, it just killed their confidence. So what I started to understand was that, yes, it's great to have the big goal, but then what you need to do from there is you need to take that big goal and you need to chop it up into smaller chunks. And so that way you've created a bunch of micro goals that you're then going out and you're accomplishing those in a shorter period of time, and you're building your confidence up as you go. All right, you're getting to the first landmark, the first destination, and so you're able to check that box. You've got that feather in your cap, so to speak, and it builds that sense of belief inside of you. And then you get to the next one, and then you get to the next one, and then you get to the next one, and next thing you know, you're checking off all these boxes, all these checkpoints on the way to the big goal. And so then you're able to say, wow, I can really do this. And so start stacking up those small wins rather than just going after the big one. It's human psychology. We want to know, and we want to know relatively quickly, that what we're doing is working. So don't set yourself up for failure by going after the big goal all at once. Now, the next thing you can do to increase your confidence is to get great at something. All right, anybody who has ever been highly successful in whatever respective thing that they were great in, it was because they were great. You've never met anybody, or never will meet anybody, who is highly successful that does not have supreme confidence in their ability to be able to produce and achieve in some specific area. Okay, so if you want to increase your confidence, stop dabbling. We're dabblers by nature because we live in this instant gratification society. If something doesn't immediately pay off, it doesn't produce the result that we want, we move on to something else. Then we move on to something else. Then we move on to something else. We don't give ourselves time to really go deep. We start trying to go wide and get our hands in all these different buckets, and you need to stop doing that. You need to go really, really deep, invest the time, the energy, the effort into getting great at something. And then once you do that, you're really going to skyrocket your confidence, because you're going to be the trusted source. You're going to become the person that everybody's looking to in that respective area, which really is a great source of building and establishing supreme levels of confidence. So stop dabbling, stop looking around, stop trying to do what everybody else thinks you should be doing. Pick something that you're really, really passionate about, something that lights your soul on fire, something you love to do and get absolutely great at it. And then the last thing that you need to be doing to increase your confidence is taking action and doing it daily, routinely, constantly. Okay, whenever it comes to achieving big goals, when it comes to building confidence, there is something to be said about getting off the sidelines and getting into the game. So many people are just sitting there waiting for that absolute right time, that right perfect moment to go in there to take a chance. But that moment's never going to come. If you're that person who's sitting there and you're just waiting, whether it's because of fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of not living up to your potential, whatever the excuse may be, if you're sitting there, I promise you, that moment is never going to present itself. You've got to get off the sideline, get in the game, and then you're going to establish this sense of belief that at the very least, even if you're not good at what you pursued, you know that you will show up, you will take action. If you continue to do that, eventually you're going to find something that you're good at, you're going to break through, and your confidence is going to skyrocket to all-time high levels. So that's it. That's how you can increase your self-confidence. And those are things that you can start doing today. So stop waiting, go out there, start doing the things that are moving you toward what it is that you want in your life, and watch your confidence start to grow. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, like it. That would mean so much to me. And even better than that, go down and drop a comment on things that you may be insecure about, areas of your life that you may need to build confidence, or areas of your life that you've really gained momentum and have built a great level of confidence. And then also share this video. I want people to be able to benefit from this. And by you going out and sharing that would be a huge added bonus to me and my mission to add value to people in this world. And then the last thing that you can do, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified each and every time that I post a new video, and you can continue on this journey with me. Thanks as always for allowing me to be here with you. Continue to go out, chase your dreams, live an amazing life, and be uncommon.